Welcome to Jane Jackson Careers, a podcast that takes your career to the next level. Here's your host, Jane Jackson, author of Amazon Careers bestseller, Navigating Career Crossroads.
Well, hello and welcome to my Careers podcast. This is episode 11. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about LinkedIn and the top 3 tips for a standout profile. Now, if you ever need careers advice, then have a look at Navigating Career Crossroads on my website, navigatingcareercrossroads.com, and it'll take you through all the 7 essential steps to secure your next role. But let's talk about LinkedIn. First of all, what is LinkedIn all about? It is a professional social networking site. And currently it has over 350 million members worldwide. And in Australia alone, it has over 6 million members. All of the Fortune 500 companies are represented on LinkedIn, plus more. And according to a JobVite survey in 2014, 93% of recruiters use LinkedIn to source for candidates. So if you're in the job market and you're not on LinkedIn, you're doing yourself a disservice, and in effect, you are almost invisible to recruiters. So please have a think about getting onto LinkedIn, setting up a profile, and making it as effective as possible. So LinkedIn itself is great for job seekers. You can look for advertised roles on LinkedIn. You can research companies on LinkedIn. And it's not just for job seekers. If you're an entrepreneur or you're a small business owner or even a large business, you can use it to build your online brand. So LinkedIn is a fabulous site. I love it. I get a lot of work through LinkedIn. And I just want to share with you what I consider to be the top 3 tips for a truly standout profile so that you'll get noticed if you're in the job search. So what do you need to do? First of all, it's really easy to set up a LinkedIn profile. All you need to do is go to linkedin.com and follow the prompts when opening up your new account. And it will guide you through all the sections of creating a summary, putting in your experience, your qualifications and certifications, any projects you've worked in, and with that, you'll have your basic profile. However, most people just leave it at that and they don't actually use it as effectively as they could. And as you know, I'm a career management coach and I coach people on creating their LinkedIn profiles. And so often they are just amazed at everything that you can actually do on LinkedIn. And I love it because I use it to position myself as a career coach, as someone who understands how to use LinkedIn. I let people know that I'm an author and all these sorts of things that I want people to know about me because that's my business. So have a think about, what do you want people to know about you? If someone is going to be doing a keyword search for a specific competency, say they're looking for a marketing manager in Sydney, and they type into LinkedIn search field, marketing manager Sydney, a whole lot of profiles will come up. And what people will see is the person's name, usually their most recent job title and where they work, and their photo. So that's it. If it's not interesting, they may move on. So what I want to talk about today are the top 3 things that you have to focus on to ensure that you capture someone's attention. And that is your name, your tagline, and your photo. All right? It's not rocket science. It's just something that needs to be done. But we need to think about how you're actually going to position yourself. And by positioning those 3 key areas effectively, it's the magic that's going to make your profile stand out. Now, I want to just tell you a little bit about what we see when we look at someone's profile. If it's just the normal profile that most people, and this is like 99% of people on LinkedIn, that most people put up so that's visible to everybody, it would be, for example, I typed in the word John Smith. I typed in the word John Smith because there are thousands and thousands of John Smiths around the world, and I wondered, what would I find? So I found John Smith, the name, and his tagline was electrical engineer at, and then the company name. Then there was another John Smith. John Smith, operations manager at his company name. And another John Smith, operations director at. So that's fine, but it doesn't really feel compelling. So tip number 1, your name needs to be a bit more interesting than just your name. If it's John Smith, sure, you put John in the first name section, you put Smith in the second name section. However, why don't you make it a little bit more interesting than that? For example, what I've done for mine is I've put my first name and my last name in the first name section, and I've put a bit of a descriptive little phrase in the surname section. So when you see my profile, and it's just, that tiny little profile that comes up when you do a search of any sort of person, say you're looking for a career coach, you will see Jane Jackson, Coaching for Career Success. So even without looking at my tagline, just looking at my name, you kind of know what I'm all about. I'm going to mention a few other people's names and titles because they're using LinkedIn really, really effectively. They get a lot of profile views, they get a lot of work out of it, and I'm very impressed with their profiles. So another person who's got a great profile, in his name section, his name is Adam Houlihan. However, when you see his name, it says Adam Houlihan, Social Media for Business. You kind of get it, don't you? Then there's Dr. David Dugan. He doesn't just have Dr. David Dugan in the name section. He's got Dr. David Dugan, Business Mentor. So you see how it makes a lot of sense to manipulate your name so that people get what it is that you do. That's really important. So don't just put John Smith in the first name and the surname section. Put John Smith in the first name section, and then what it is. It could be, electrical engineer helping companies to whatever it might be. Now, the second magic tip is your tagline. Underneath your tagline, you can put up to about 120 characters to describe who you are. And because this is what actually shows up when someone does a search as well, they see your name, they see your tagline, they see your photo. We really need to put something interesting in the tagline. For most people, they don't even think about it. And so what the default is in your tagline is your most recent role and the company where you're working. So it could be, say, human resources manager at Rolls-Royce, for example, and then that would be it. However, why don't you make it a bit more compelling and use the key words that you want to make sure are a match if someone's looking for someone like you? So, for example, for mine, in my name, I've got Jane Jackson, Coaching for Career Success, but in my tagline, I've got Career Management Coach, Speaker, Author, LinkedIn and Resume Coach, Image Coach, Corporate Trainer. So you can see I'm doing a massive keyword hit there. For Adam Houlihan, who is Social Media for Business, in his name, his tagline says LinkedIn expert, social entrepreneur, social media strategist, author, social media speaker. It's so easy. You get it. You know what he's there for. And if you're interested in someone to do with social media, he would be your man. And then, of course, David Dugan, business mentor, in his name section, in his tagline, he's got business growth strategist, business mentor, wealth dynamics practitioner, author, keynote speaker. Again, then you get it. There's another gentleman who's very, very much viewed on LinkedIn. His name is Chris J. Reed, and he's just got his name. However, in his tagline, he's got Global CEO Entrepreneur, Black Marketing, the name of his company, enabling LinkedIn for you in Singapore, Hong Kong, ANZ, UK, Toronto, Shanghai, and New York. So if you're a business who needs that sort of support, you know that you're going to get it. And there's this amazing gentleman called John Lee Dumas, who is the podcasting expert of the world. And his tagline says, host Entrepreneur on Fire, an award-winning podcast interviewing today's most inspiring entrepreneurs. And so just by seeing his name, and the tagline tells you what he does. He's the host of Entrepreneur on Fire, and what he does is interview inspiring entrepreneurs. You get it. So if you want to contact him, you know what you're getting right away. So number one, underneath your name, it's very important to have something interesting and compelling so people know what you've got to offer. Number two, your tagline needs to be keyword centric. So you need to think, what are the keywords that will make someone interested in me? And the third magic trick is, it's not really a trick, it's just something that you really need to do, is to have a really good professional profile photo, because that's going to come up. If you don't have a profile photo, it'll be a little sort of filled in image that looks like some sort of a blank avatar, which is kind of scary in my mind, because I'm thinking, well, who are you? Why are you hiding your face? And because LinkedIn is a social, not so much social, it's a professional networking site, it's a bit like if you don't have a profile photo on your LinkedIn profile, it's like you turning up at a networking meeting or at a party with a paper bag over your head. You don't want people to see what you look like. And it doesn't make sense, does it? So remember, as one of my very good friends who's a professional photographer told me, your photograph is like a visual handshake. It needs to project the warmth and the personality of you. So make sure if you're going to put a profile photo up on LinkedIn, make it a good one. People want to be able to see your eyes. Be warm, smile. Make sure that it doesn't have a lot of distracting things on the side, such as, you wouldn't believe, I was having a look at bad LinkedIn photos. There was this gentleman who has his photo there, but it's really fuzzy, so you can't really see his face. He's crouching down and he's next to two lions. Now, I don't understand. He must have been on safari somewhere and he thought, oh, this is a really good photo, but you can't even see what he really looks like because the lions are so predominant, and it doesn't make sense to have that photo. Another fellow had a picture of him on a boat with his son. The wind's blowing, but you can't really see his face because his son's face is covering up half of his. What sort of a profile photo is that for LinkedIn? Again, it doesn't make sense. So just create a nice professional photo, get it done properly. You don't have to pay a lot of money. You can just use your iPhone or your Android phone to take a photo, but make sure that it shows your full face, head and shoulders is good, be smiling and have a plain background. We don't need all of the extra stuff. Let's not have you when you're at a party and someone's got his arm around you and you crop that photo out. It looks like you're going to be a party girl or a party boy. It just doesn't make sense, right? So 3 things. 1, use your name, that section, to market yourself. Number 2, use your tagline to market yourself. And number 3, use your profile photo to project the appropriate professional image. So those are the 3 key things to think about when it comes to your LinkedIn profile. If you've got any comments, please find me on LinkedIn. I have a Navigating Career Crossroads forum that you can join, and you can also ask all sorts of job search questions there. It's not just me who'll answer. I have recruiters and career coaches and other HR professionals who are members who can also provide advice and guidance to you, and there are plenty of job seekers who are also members there who pose their questions. And once you've secured your next job, if you want to stay active as in the membership, you can provide your advice and guidance as to what's worked for you and what hasn't as well. I only set it up a few months ago, so it's growing, but come and join us. If you need comprehensive careers guidance, hop on to navigatingcareercrossroads.com, where you can buy my ebook or my paperback book, Navigating Career Crossroads, or you can just go onto amazon.com and look for Navigating Career Crossroads and find it there. And so that's it for today's LinkedIn tips. There will be more as time goes on. And until next time, believe in yourself and create your own magic. See you soon. Bye.
You've been listening to Jane Jackson Careers. Sign up to receive regular career advice at janejacksoncoach.com.